In Chapter 1 of Media Advertising, we discussed the creative process. And I wanted to apply this to how I did my personal ad as the assignment because I managed to follow through with most of the creative process. So let's start out with the first step is to figure out the facts of what you're trying to advertise, who you're trying to advertise for, etc. For me, that was realizing that I had an assignment in media advertising to create a personal ad. The brainstorming process was Dr. Jeffrey said, write down 5 adjectives that describe yourself. And you can see I immediately wrote those down right up here. And those were dependable, outgoing, hardworking, determined, and organized. And the last thing was Dr. Jeffrey said, okay, you need a tagline. You need something that sums this whole advertisement up. What's something that other people may not realize about you or that they may realize about you? And mine was that I'm passionate about serving others. Then the next step in the creative process is to pencil in your sketch before you get into creating it on the computer. And as you can see, I started that. It says serve, and it's got some words going down. I tried incorporating that serve is the main thing, but all the other things about me help me to serve. And so I said that this is my life motto at the bottom. Now, the next thing is to look for references or visuals. So what I did there is, what do I want the background? What do I want the visual to be? Well, since my name is Starla, how do I incorporate stars? How do I incorporate who I am? And I was like, well, let's put that as the background, and because serving is my meaning in life, like that's what I am for, that makes sense because people look at the stars often and they think, what is my purpose? Well, if you know what your purpose is, then you know what you can be hired to do, which is great for a personal ad. So I did that, and I also looked up some of the words that I used to describe myself in the thesaurus. The next step in the creative process is team. Well, since I didn't have a team for a personal ad, I did, ask my boyfriend and other people if they thought this was kind of making sense, and it was, so that was great. The next couple steps, the meeting with the creative director and account executive to sell it. Obviously, I didn't have to do that. The next thing is selling the client. I was happy with it. I'm the client because this is how I would advertise myself out if I was doing a personal ad. And getting it right is the next step. And getting it right for me meant that I changed the background. The original picture was really dark stars with bright lights, and it looked a little fake and it looked a little gimmicky and it just wasn't perfect. And I also had to figure out the spacing a little better to get everything exactly centered the way I wanted, make sure that my wording and everything was just going exactly how I wanted to convey who I am and how all of this leads to how I serve and that I employ serving in my life always. So the final 2 steps are maintaining continuity, which, if I was to create another personal ad, I might, incorporate serve, or I might incorporate stars in the background or something that always seems familiar with me. And what worked and why? Well, I think that my layout of my personal ad worked really well because serve is a capital, serve always is there, but then you can serve hard always, you can serve smart always, you can serve all these things, and I serve all these things always. And so the adjectives in between really showed and expressed who I am. And tying it in with the background of the stars saying, this is my life's purpose, I think it works. I think it explains who I am. I think it explains kind of where my mentality is. So that was my creative process. One of the last great things that we learned from Chapter 1 was people do not buy things. They buy satisfaction of their wants and needs. And that's important for any advertiser to always remember, is that we are not just selling a product, we are selling them on what they think that they want or think that they need.